We're going to demo the app called IFTX. It's $3 Canadian. Is it a novelty? Is it worth it? Does it have a place for anyone? For ham radio operators, it won't. However, there is another device, OpenSpot Pro 4, which we'll be talking about at the end of this video. It was difficult to record because I had to have the audio up at the same time, so excuse the difficulties there that you may experience. Thank you. There would be an exception. If you're a ham radio operator and you have an older transceiver that doesn't have a sound card like the one that's built in the ICOM 7300 and my other radio, the ICOM 705, then yes, you could receive and you can transmit FT8 and 4. To eliminate background noise, if you wire in directly the audio to the mic and have the speaker wired into the receiver, somehow isolate it. Yeah, and you can use it. So it's one way to find out if it's an area that you will enjoy. So there is one useful purpose. I was browsing on the Apple App Store and came across this app, IFTX. This is the settings. I put in a call sign and turn a few things on. What this is, if you have a receiver, maybe you're a shortwave listener, or even a radio, walkie-talkie, things of that sort, there is activity on the ham bands called FT8, digital communication. And you may not want to transmit, of course, because you have to be licensed or registered. However, you can still listen to what's going on. And what I like personally about the FT8 when I use it on my ICOM 7300 or the ICOM 705, either one, it gives me an idea what the propagations are like. And also, it's great for testing antennas. For example, if I'm trying two or three different style antennas, I could determine which one works better, because it will give you a signal report, both receive and transmit from the station you make a contact with. So for me, it's a handy tool, and you can communicate to a certain degree, though there are other modes that are more suitable. But if you're by yourself, perhaps on VHF, UHF band, you can send short little text back and forth really quick just by using the text option. I believe the setting has that right here. Send a signal. Okay. Answer will report instead of reply. So you have options. So if you have a receiver and you're listening in and you want to know, okay, what's going on? Probably the cost of the app is about the cost of a coffee, depending on your location. Now I have my ICOM 7300 just sitting above me, tuned to the 20-meter band, 1473, 74 actually. It got moved, I guess. Let me just go unlock and put this back. Okay, lock it in. I'm going to turn up the volume and see what happens. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit just to see if it interrupts with the decoding. But if you notice, you see this 590, 1343. This is where they're transmitting on the audio portion of the frequency, which is about 3 kilohertz wide. So you can have an awful lot of stations just using one channel. The band conditions are not very good. I'm only getting 2 or 3 stations there. And someone's sending a test. Let me see if I got all the settings turned on. So I'm going to turn those on. Yeah, the band conditions are really bad. And it was a little bit better earlier this morning. Okay. Okay, there's a station calling. For example, if I hit that, okay, that is the iPad transmitting. I turned off the receiver. If I had a microphone push to talk turned on next to my speaker, it would make a connection, or attempt to make a connection anyways. And I managed to do it once, just as a test. So, there you go. And I'm transmitting in the middle of the audio frequency of 3K. Back to listen. Okay, here we have the call sign calling CQ, United States, and his signal strength is about 6 dB in the noise, and the 0.6 seconds is his clock. It's off. It should be 0. If it's more than, I think, 2 seconds or 1 second off, you won't be able to make connections. So it's important to have your device properly synced with the clock. And then the last column, 1346.9, that's the frequency in the audio spectrum. And any text that they may send will also show up. Most of the users, they do it for connection, just like myself, just to get that signal report. Okay, the app, maybe it's a novelty. It might be a software of interest. It has limitations. For those who are ham radio operators, it probably would not be necessary or requirement. However, there is other devices that would be most suitable, such as the OpenSpot. If you're not near a D-Star repeater, you have to use internet, then you'll need what we call a hotspot. And this unit provides the hotspot. The Hotspot Pro, in particular, comes with an app that works on Windows, Linux, and Mac. And it has some limitations. It doesn't work on all iPhones, like the iPhone 12, 12 mini, and the 15. Whether they will be fixing that in the next update on their app, I don't know. I'm waiting for a reply to my question. Assuming that matter is all fixed, you can then use your iPhone to communicate to digital, several types of digital communication, like D-Star, DMR, things of that sort. I know initially it works with Wi-Fi. You have to be connected to the same Wi-Fi as your transmitter receiver. However, they do have a remote option where you would have to set up your router for, I think, port 80, which I think most computers have on, and then you're able to. The question is, how good is it on cellular, if that's what you have, or do you need to be Wi-Fi on the other side or some other computer? Those are questions I've asked and waiting for a reply. There's a few interesting claims. Has the best voice quality, cross-mode operation, though it also depends on the equipment that's used at the other end too. It says you don't need a transceiver for the Pro. You can use that app on your computer or phone to talk. I guess I have to verify if it can be done through cellular, no doubt through Wi-Fi internet. And what's also nice is that you can talk to other non-standard D-Star transceivers to access DMR, C4FM, and so forth. In other words, Yaesu has their own fusion protocol, and there's several other ones. Call and supports call audio playback and 10 configuration profiles. I am looking at this, but until I get all my questions answered, I will wait and see. One reason why, it's expensive. And the price on that is, by the time you bring it to Canada with conversion, the company is located in Estonia, and they're charging the device in pounds, which right now it's worth more than the Canadian dollar by 50%. So the time it lands, it can be pretty expensive. So you don't want to buy a device and find out it doesn't have some of the features you thought it has. So it's best to be prudent and careful. Hopefully we'll get the answers. I notice going on the terminal mode where people list their devices as to what type of device they're using, what type of radio, even what type of hotspot. And I noticed some have the Pro here in Alberta, but I haven't been able to talk to them to ask them a few questions. It's not really that busy on D-Star Hill, so that's another factor to take into consideration. Do you really need more than this terminal mode? But only time will tell. Once we get all the information, we'll have a full-fledged video on it, because it's a device that I'm looking at and hoping it will take care of a few other things that I would like. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. It was very difficult to record and talk at the same time because I had to have the audio up, and at the same time I wanted you to know what you'll be facing. Mind you, a lot of that could probably eliminate it if you wire in directly the audio into your receiver, which I didn't want to do that because my radios are hooked up that way. Maybe it would work with Bluetooth, I don't know. But we'll have to try that, I guess, at another time. I would appreciate it if you have thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you. Have a nice day.